Last time on Crimson Curse, 1999.
You're my father and I'm from the future.
I think I killed someone. I need help.
Do you have a house, innocent student?
The world would be a better place with more jazzercise.
And now, back to Crimson Curse, 1999. So last time, we started our fiasco game, and we're just going to go whole hog into Act 2. And we're going to start this the same way we did previously, with Jazzy Crime Blood Bot. Yes.
Yes, Crime Blood
hold
Bot.
on. Jazzy Blood Crime Bot. Perfect.
Jazzy Blood Crimes.
All right.
Jazzy Blood Crimes.
Jazzy Blood Crimes. That's your name now.
Bloody jazz crimes.
Okay, so you get first option to set or resolve. What do you want to do? Last scene that happened, for those of you who are just jumping into the middle of this for some reason, is Max Constance, petty thief, was arrested by the cops. And they were going to another crime scene where all three of these characters were, and we have now stolen a police car and are tearing down the street. So with that in mind, Jazzy Blood Crimes.
Yeah. I feel like I should probably set this scene.
Okay.
Okay. So, I feel like, for whatever reason, Jazzy Blood Crimes Bot is in charge of this heist at the moment.
That sounds accurate.
So
Heist?
We stole a cop car, to be fair.
Okay, we are.
stolen.
Okay.
So I'd say I am at the wheel of the cop car.
Okay, I like it.
As a boxy jazzercise robot, I do not have the best skills at driving, though. So I say I am tearing through the streets of Apex City, weaving through traffic, while I'm trying to ensure everyone else in the car to stay calm by playing some soothing jazzercise music.
Max is definitely not staying calm. Max is, screaming and, desperately trying to get out of these handcuffs. You're gonna kill us all! You're gonna kill us all, Crimebot! Crimebot, slow down! Stop the car, Crimebot!
We're fine! Just listen to the music!
Who is Crimebot? Who is Crimebot?
Crimebot,
Shut up!
Who are you?
I'm the one who's been blackmailing you over the last few weeks over the watches you've been stealing.
You asshole!
Gasp!
Oh, I'm the asshole thief?
Okay,
Look,
my daughter has been blackmailing people? That is very bad.
You do not get to be a father to me now, son of a bitch.
And in the meantime, the siren, wee, wee, the siren is still.
Jazz music.
Get me out of these handcuffs and I'll do whatever you want me to.
You've already been doing whatever I want you to with the handcuffs on.
Wow, that's cold.
That is cold.
And strangely kinky.
I think at that point I crash into a fire hydrant.
Oh, so
Oh no, I don't get to resolve. I don't get to resolve.
I think at that point you crash into a fire hydrant.
Okay, yeah.
Seems reasonable.
Yeah, let's give you that bad.
Well, I get to choose, right?
No, you set the scene.
Okay, but okay, so you give me the dice.
Yeah,
Got
yeah,
it.
so
The
you
die
get
is
the
going to you at this point permanently.
Yes, you keep the die.
Okay.
Okay, so you crash into a fire hydrant.
All right.
Doesn't she get to choose which die she wants, though?
I mean, it's a bad result, so.
But could I choose a red die?
You could. You want to choose a red die?
Sure.
Okay, have a red die.
I'll take a red die.
All right. Cool. So you crash into a fire hydrant. How do we think that ends real badly for Bloodbot? Is Bloodbot just thrown through the front windshield?
My blood.
No.
Okay.
But the blood bank inside Bloodbot shatters, and blood is just strewn all over the car, all over everyone inside.
Oh, that's so good. That's good.
That's
really
disgusting.
We
It's
are
a very
all-
Carrie scenario.
Yes.
Very much so, yes.
I'm imagining the
Everyone-
scene. It's just a crash, and then instead of the airbag deploying, it just. The windows.
We get from the outside, we see blood everywhere.
Just on the inside of the car.
Just on the
Yeah.
Coating everything. Oh, that's good.
That's how I
good.
imagine that going.
That's
over.
real good.
The diseases of 1999 are everywhere.
Yes. Yes, they are.
I think Max is just at this point just screaming, just freaking the hell out. He didn't sign up for this.
Well, let's not
So
Darren.
Darren, now remember, you do not have to go. We can have a flashback. We can flash forward. We can just
Flash forward
we
to
can be
us all in jail.
2 hours later. Whatever you want to do.
Man. I'm not sure where this is going.
Drive it like a stolen blood bank.
I'm going to set this scene. So, I'm not horribly injured, besides my still a wounded ankle. I get out of the car, I kind of fall onto the curb, and I assume there were cop cars following us, so I could probably hear sirens in the distance. And at that point, a hand appears in front of me and helps me up. And it turns out that it is my neighbor from across the street.
Yes.
Who happened to be nearby and wanted to help people in the crash. And that neighbor's name is Clarice.
Okay. So Clarice from across the street. I like the idea that Clarice maybe at some point had a thing for Darren, but now seeing him like covered in blood is maybe rethinking this.
Maybe she's into that.
Maybe Clarice was the curse all along.
Ooh. I mean, I'll play her.
All right, sure.
Darren, is that you from next door?
Clarice. Yes. Thank God.
Mom, what are you... You told me you were in New York at this time of year.
I'm sorry, young lady. Do I know you?
No. You don't. Who are you?
I'm going to talk to you later. Do you all need an ambulance?
I need help.
Shall I call the police department?
No,
Yes.
No cops.
I'm getting some
Okay,
mixed
well, they said
answers
no
here.
cops, so whatever they think is best is fine, I
Max
guess.
is like wriggling out of the cop car.
So I can't help but notice that y'all are covered in a surprising amount of blood.
It's red paint. We're leaving.
Are you all painters?
Sure. Abstract artists, and we're going somewhere else with no cops in it.
Oh, okay. Why are we doing that? I think I better stay with Clarice, guys. I don't think that I should hang out with you
Oh
guys.
yeah, come on!
anymore.
I got a nice hot cocoa waiting for you over here.
Do you have a computer?
What? My computer's at home. It weighs like 40 pounds. I don't know why I suddenly adopted a Minnesota accent there.
No, that's fine. Clarice is from Minnesota now.
Clarice from Minnesota.
Yeah,
I mean, Apex City is in Minnesota, so.
that's true.
Though I know I've got that accent.
You're going back to when we grew up together in Minnesota.
I think I better check on Bloodbot or Jazzbot, or they're calling him a lot of things, and I don't know, but Jazzbot is currently empty. So I'm gonna help Jazzbot out of the car, and then I want that hot cocoa.
So I think this is a good point for Bloodbot to recover consciousness and say Clarice is coming with us.
To hide out at her house.
I was like, yeah, you're coming with us.
We're just by Darren's house.
Oh,
We're gonna go hide out next door.
Yes, this is what we're doing.
Oh, that's good. Okay. Alright, I think this is a good point to resolve this particular
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm saying
Okay.
this is how we resolve it. We all go back to her house.
Do we think that this is good or bad?
Bad.
Bad?
I vote
You
bad.
think
Why is
bad?
it a bad resolution to go back to her house?
Because we're going back to the scene of your house.
But there's hot
It's right
cocoa.
next door.
It is hot cocoa.
I'm voting for good because of hot cocoa.
You're voting for good because of hot cocoa?
Good.
Bad.
Oh, I have to break this tie!
Well, Jordan.
I'm gonna vote good, actually. I think this is a good thing. I think this works. I think Clarice is a nice person, and we're gonna go have some hot cocoa. I think it's not gonna be immediately recaptured by the cops. So,
Okay.
ooh, you're taking a red die.
Blood lilies.
Okay. So, Mona, what you want to do?
I'm gonna be. I already know the password because I'm familiar with Clarice from Minnesota.
Okay, all right.
So you're setting the scene?
So you're setting the scene. Or
Yeah, same the scene.
Okay.
At our house. Still, like, the blood is dried now.
Mm-hmm.
And I know the
Right.
password to her computer. It's the name of her dog.
What is the name of her dog?
Padfoot.
Wow.
Padfoot 1983, obviously.
Timely.
Yes.
Timely.
Very good.
Oh, timely reference. Padfoot is the harbinger, so that's fine. It makes sense he time travels. All right.
Aww.
So what are you doing with Clarice's computer?
I'm going to be going through the floppy disks I still have, which are not stained with blood, but they're still registered, they're still reading.
Okay.
Checking for the
They
file.
don't make tech like they used to.
That's true. They don't. You spill blood on a USB drive and it's just done. Don't question that. I don't know that. That's fine.
From experience?
No, none.
I go through all of the discs. None of them have chapter 44 of Tony Peck's Dakota. And I think I'm going to turn, you're drinking hot cocoa, I smack the hot cocoa out of your hand.
No! Why would you do that?
I smack you across the face.
It was just cool enough to drink.
I smack you across the face.
Daughter, why?
Grab you by the collar. Where is chapter 44?
Well, I did know where it was, but you wrecked my filing system.
Where was chapter 44?
It was
Chapter 44 of what?
Tony Peck's Dakota.
Oh, I love that fanfic.
So do I. I have the entire thing on my hard
Can
drive.
someone please get me out of these handcuffs?
You have chapter 44?
I have every chapter.
But it hasn't been released yet.
Well, because we're good friends, I get pre-releases.
Oh, that makes so much sense. Okay, all right. Does this end well or poorly?
This ends beautifully for you.
Okay.
So good.
So you're gonna get a good die, because I think you're gonna get chapter 44. Okay.
It was a beautiful resolution.
Oh, that's so good. That's so good.
All right, I'm going to plug in your bank to Clarice's computer, and I'm going to strip the file. No, not strip one.
Copy?
Copy, yeah,
Gonna
to
copy it?
a floppy disk.
You're not going to
and
erase
have
my
it.
memory?
It's here.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Oh, jeez.
Max?
I think I need to resolve a scene.
All right.
Okay.
So my first thought is this scene starts with Max out in the tool the tool shed trying to get his handcuffs off on the table saw.
Oh yeah, that's good.
So I'm gonna say that's how we set it, and then I don't know. I assume Mona and me are busy, but if Darren or Clarice wants to be there,
We're just drinking hot cocoa
You're
just to
drinking
know
hot
each other
cocoa.
better.
Or someone else.
that's true.
This could be someone else. This could be a.
I'm gonna say it's the other neighbor.
There's another neighbor here?
Well, you have neighbors on
Oh.
both sides, right?
Okay. Let's inject a little curse into our Crimson Curse game. What if it is another neighbor who is currently under control of the Crimson Curse? Ooh, trying to tie up some loose ends.
They were in my
Yeah.
fighting ring last night.
Ah, their face is all bandaged.
Yeah. So as I'm like desperately trying to get the handcuffs off me, like we just see the shadow in the door of the shed. And they like come at me.
Yes.
Oh, that's so good.
Okay, I love how this is
so
this is
good.
working.
Okay. So I think this is definitely kind of a running fight because we have a working table saw going at the same time. I think this is going to end poorly for me. Max is not a fighter.
Or do we hear you screaming?
Probably.
So that's how it's going to play on the
Hold
screen.
on. So yeah, you start a fight with him.
Yeah.
Go into that fight for a bit.
Okay, I think the way it works is because like I'm trying to get the handcuffs off, but I haven't gotten all the way through the chain yet.
Uh-huh.
So this guy like comes in from behind and like just like hits me, and I like you think that Max is gonna fall into the table saw, but he like twists away, and then like the other guy is like just on top of me like beating the crap out of me, and then I think you see Max like just kind of like push up off the ground, and that's when we cut out outside. And we just hear like a scream, and we don't know if it's the
Right.
the cursed guy or if it's Max.
We get another blood spatter on the
Like another
garage
blood spatter on the
windows.
garage windows. I think this goes poorly for me though. So
Okay.
I don't know whether that means that I accidentally killed this guy or that I like got my hand cut off.
Por que no los dos?
Which means you get
I'm good with you just accidentally killing him. But
You think so?
Yeah.
I'm fine with that. I think like
I think you also don't get your handcuffs off.
Correct.
yeah, I think I like just like shove him with like the handcuffs and like he falls
He's
backwards
stuck on the table saw.
on the table saw and
Which just like, and like, it's not working anymore, and you don't want to touch it anyway.
it's definitely like a Sam Raimi thing where like the table saw goes like through his chest. And,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
sprays blood all over.
Oh
his
yeah,
face.
that was the
Oh, let me take that red die
yeah.
because that's a lot of blood. Okay.
I think I would also like to resolve this scene.
Okay.
Would you become reinfected by the Crimson Curse at
Yes,
this point?
absolutely.
So you are now reinfected with the
Yes.
Crimson
I could be
Curse.
triggered at any time.
I mean,
Okay.
all
Nice.
of us have been.
Well, we
We've
were
all
initially.
been
You were
covered
initially.
with the same blood that
That's true.
That's true.
The
You could have
blood
all
bot.
been reinfected.
we're all
That's
reinfected.
fine. Okay, so we need to set a scene for Jazzy Blood Crimes to resolve. So Jazzy Blood Crimes just got their memory downloaded.
Just
And
the-
So,
they
the
just
singular
stopped.
memory.
while downloading,
Yeah.
said while downloading.
Well, I got a happy
stuff,
resolution. It's done.
I know.
Yeah.
So while working on that, Mona discovers that she can access, whereas you don't seem to be able to access those memory files.
Ooh,
There are
yeah.
video files stored in your hard drive
Yes, there's decrypted.
of what happened in those 48 hours. So
I like that.
I like that too.
So while that's happening, you're coming across like video files.
We're getting a lot of faith in 1999 computers. That's what they can do.
This is a robot. This is the robot's video files. It's fine. So you're coming across those as you're downloading Tony Peck's Dakota Chapter 44.
Which is a surprisingly large file.
It's quite big. Yeah.
It's literally like
It's magnum opus.
Yeah, magnum opus.
It's like 50 megs.
Which is a lot in
That's like
1999.
3 floppy disks.
Right? It's huge. I think
it has
what
Word
do
on it
we
and
see?
everything.
What do we see Jazzy Blood Crimes doing in those files?
Well, we see her eating clocks.
Yeah,
Obviously
a bunch
eating
of
watches.
eating like a bunch of pocket watches. But what else?
There's got to be more.
There's got to be more to it.
Like that bag of watches wouldn't have lasted the entire 2 days.
You see someone that I recognize even from the future.
Ooh, yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah.
nice.
I don't know. I said it without a backup.
Let's shop this around. So someone that you recognize from the future. Maybe you see someone that you recognize as like a criminal from the future.
Yes.
And
Like
maybe you see a crime bot doing a crime for them.
Yes.
Oh.
Like maybe breaking in somewhere and stealing something.
Ooh.
Something that relates to your time travel.
I was going to say that, yeah.
Because I also broke into the Heron lab and I stole something.
Maybe you saw
that
us
I-
breaking into the Heron lab and stealing something.
We stole
Me and Max, because we are your thieves.
That's
that
true.
you've been
That's
blackmailing.
right.
You also ended up like at one alley.
Yeah, one
That's
alleyway away
true.
from each other. So yeah, you see us breaking into the Heron labs and stealing
With Mateo.
Yeah. Okay, we're tying it all back together. Breaking into the Heron labs with Mateo and stealing like a piece of time travel tech.
Uh-huh.
That is
you stole
key.
a different piece.
I stole a different piece.
It's a piece that's key to you getting home. So I like
Right.
that. So how do you resolve that?
How do I resolve that? I'm going to say doing that unlocks the rest of my memories.
Okay.
So I now know this as well, and I'm going to say that's a good outcome for me.
Okay, and what else happens?
I think I am going to secretly send a text file to you on the screen saying, I know where it is. What are you going to give me for it?
Ooh, I like that. So let's move over to Darren.
How's the huckle going?
Darren is having a great time with Clarice.
Awesome.
Okay, so are you setting the scene then?
I guess.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, he's just having a great time chatting it up with Clarice, getting to know each other. She was a little put off by, the blood-encrusted skin on my face. But overall, we're getting to know each other. Turns out she's a fan of Tony Peck's Dakota. And I give her some hints of what's coming in Chapter 44.
Some previews.
And, I'm just setting up that relationship, I guess.
Nice.
Turns out she works as a publisher,
Oh, that's good.
which is my hint that I want to resolve this in a good manner for you.
Yeah, that's all I got for my setup.
Okay,
So.
all right. So we could just be like, oh, that's a good thing. That's that's great for Darren.
Uh-huh.
Or we
I'm
could
open.
complicate this situation even further.
I like that too.
Because we've already seen one cursed person from the last couple of days trying to take out Max.
Uh-huh.
We could have some more show up. So do we want to resolve
this
this
scene.
With like, oh, I'm going to get a publishing contract, or some people are coming to beat the crap out of us?
How about both? How about she says, I'm going to go get a... You know what? I work for a publishing company. Let me go call some people. She gets up to go to her phone, and then we think she's coming back, but in different... Like, just a ton of people come in. Like, 3 people just come in from the outside and just stand over you menacingly. Their eyes are, like, red with crimson curse. They're like...
Are you guys part of my jazzercise class?
Okay, all right. So I think I like that. I think I like that as I like that as a bad ending. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm good with that.
Cool. Go ahead and grab a bad die. All right. So we've got a trio of cursed individuals who have just come in. You heard some sort of screaming from out by the shed, and then these 3 dudes come in. Mona.
You can either set the scene or resolve.
Yeah. What do you want to do?
I would look up, see them all, see them coming from Max, or are they coming for
Come from me.
Darren? They're
They're
coming
coming
for
for
Darren.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mac, you heard a scream from out by the shed, which you know Max went to.
I think I would be like, gotta cut my losses with Darren. Got what I wanted out of him.
Yeah. So I say the 2 of us
But if I
hide.
die...
You won't die.
It doesn't matter if you die,
Time travel paradox.
Depends on what rules of time travel we're going by.
right?
Fair.
Let's find out.
Yes.
So Mona's running with crime.
Because
Yeah.
I'm stuck here if you die.
Why?
Quite possibly.
Because he has to
time
get the materials that I need.
So you have to
get back
remake
home.
the time machine?
Yeah, I have to make sure I can make the time
Yeah, because it doesn't exist
Oh.
yet.
You have to recreate the time machine.
Yeah, I was able to get there, but I can't go back without it being built.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Okay.
I'm with
All
you.
right. All right, so let's just set this right quick. What are you actually doing?
I'm going to say, if you tell me where it is, I can guarantee Max's safe passage.
I don't care about Max. Give me something better.
Meanwhile, we've got these 3 cursed guys probably putting the boots to Darren.
This is my crime bot side coming out.
To make sure that you don't get arrested in 6 years.
Guys, I just want to do jazzercise. Oh!
Fight back with your tight calves already.
I'll take your offer.
Excellent.
Okay, I'll lead you to it. But we're gonna need to get Max out of here.
Absolutely.
Okay, so I think as you head outside, you see Max, like, coming out of the shed, just, like, covered head to toe in blood.
Fresh
and,
blood.
Like, fresh blood, and, like, shaking, and, like...
There's still a dismembered hand clutching the cuffs.
He's probably got, like, bits all... And he's, like, still handcuffed at this point. I don't like this place.
Max, you know the place that we agreed to meet if things ever went south?
Yeah.
We need to go there.
Oh. Yeah, things have gone south.
Yeah, they have.
He, like, kind of looks over at Mona. Do we have to take her?
Yeah, she's cool. Come on.
Okay, so we have to resolve this scene somehow. Since you said it.
Darren, how do you want to...
Yeah, screw you guys.
Meanwhile, Darren's inside is getting the boots put to him.
No, I think you jazzercise your way out of it.
Well, we don't know. We don't know. We'll find out. Because you're done. We'll find out in the aftermath.
I say this is a good ending for you.
Okay, this is a good ending. So you take that last red die.
So I say you take the red die.
So everyone has a red die.
Everyone has a red die.
Oh, and the last die is wild, as always, which means this could be a good or a bad die.
Yes.
I am going to choose... Because this is the last scene of this direct VHS video. So I think I'm going to choose to set this scene.
All right.
And I think this scene is, we go to the place that we said we were going to meet, which is...
An abandoned Chuck E. Cheese?
I was going to say an abandoned warehouse, but yeah, no. It's an abandoned Chuck E. Cheese now. That's fine. The creepy, like, robots up on stage.
Yeah.
And, like, we've got...
nostalgic for both of us.
And, like, we've stashed the stuff that we've stolen here, so, like, there's, bits and pieces of Time Machine. And I think Mona's putting, like, together this time machine to go back to the future. I think... the way I want to introduce a conflict into this particular scene is that as you boot up the time machine, I think Max is gonna try and get in there instead of you. Because Max is done with the present. Max's life here is fucked.
Yeah.
Max is probably wanted for a murder and definitely just killed a second guy. So Max needs to escape LA.
Escape from LA.
Yeah. Snake Plissken. No, Max needs to get to the future. This is him trying to bug out.
So are we assuming this time machine can only take one person once?
Yeah, I think so. I think this is like a one-use kind of thing.
I think it is.
So I think the machine starts to whir up, and Max just like tries to shove Mona out of the way. And how do we want to resolve that?
So I have one thing that comes to mind.
Okay.
What comes to mind for me is all 3 of us get into a fight.
Okay.
Trying to get into the time machine first.
Okay.
Because we all want to go back to the future. And... or forward to the future.
No, I love it.
You're a robot.
That's good. Okay.
I don't know, why not?
Crime-bot makes impulse decisions. We've established this.
Yes.
What time is it, by the way? Is it 11:50?
Oh, it has to be. It has to be getting close
Yeah.
to midnight, right? We've skipped forward a bit.
My thought is, at this point, Darren, Jazzercise has opened the door, covered in the blood of these 3 people that he's just,
Decimated.
jazzercised his way out of. Correct me if this is out of character.
I mean, I was eager to see what the actual resolution was in the end, to see if I just get beat up and that's the end of
we
the
can
story.
go that way
We can go
too.
that way.
I
But we're in a
I
three-way...
feel like I should be out of the story at this
That's
point.
fine.
That's
You
fine.
left me behind.
So
fair.
we're in a 3-way fight over this time machine.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the question here is, because this is for Max specifically, does this end well or poorly?
I think we're going to be like clawing at each other
Uh-huh.
and like dragging each other away from the time machine. And the clock finally strikes 11:59 and the Y2K bug hits and you go down.
Oh.
You drop.
You Y2K!
So you
You
get
get
Y2K'd,
Y2K'd.
and it's just the 2 of us.
Yeah, it's just the 2 of us duking it out.
So
And you hit me with your
handcuff?
arm that's
Just like-
detached.
Oh, that's good. That's good. So do I then get through the time machine? Is that how that happens?
Oh man, I feel like somehow you deserve to get the floppy disk with chapter 44 in it.
I just steal the disc.
Yeah.
And then maybe push you through the time machine?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think she goes back to the time machine.
Okay, but I feel...
She punches you, jumps through, and then we flash back and you're holding
and I'm holding
bag.
the disc.
Because you're the thief and you stole it from my bag.
Yeah,
So it's one of those, like, she gets in and she's like, yes, I made it. And as she's disappearing, you're just like, hey, here it is.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Okay.
So I would see that as, in the end, maybe you didn't quite get what you wanted, but you pseudo won.
Okay.
I call that a good ending.
Okay. All right, so this is a good die.
Okay.
Okay. So we are now here at the aftermath, where things are about to go real weird real quick. So everyone that's got a red die, take that red die and put it off to the side for a sec. You take your bad die and your good die, and you roll them separately. I just have to remember that this is the good die. Jeez. So I have a bad... So you take the lower number and subtract it from the higher number. Now that we've done that, let's take that red die, since everyone got
ever
one.
took good dice?
This was my bad dice. I took the blood dice.
Oh, nice.
So roll that blood die.
4 blood.
Oh, crap.
4.
It was you all along.
It was Max all along.
No!
Which makes that ending actually that much sweeter.
Yeah,
Wait,
it makes the ending
I got
really
a
good.
7 and a 1. So
That doesn't matter.
No,
It doesn't matter.
This is just the blood die.
Yeah.
Just the curse die. So we're going to go ahead and start with... Let's start with CrimeBot. And these are all this is statements, since you only have good dice. You only have good things. But first off, let's find out what that aftermath is like. So you have good 11.
Yes.
Not too shabby.
All right.
You've made it out with dignity intact through some fluke. There might even be a little profit or self-respect or something. Time to throw a little party for all your friends.
What friends?
Crime
So,
friends.
all told, everything goes pretty well for you. You probably make some profit. You're living pretty well.
Okay.
Cool. So these are all this is statements in that direction. So what's your first one?
So I take one of these and do I describe a scene?
Yeah, just a very quick kind of, think of this as like as the credits are rolling, this is the scene we get.
Okay,
working towards their ultimate destiny.
So this is the scene of the police finding CrimeBot in the warehouse and blaming all of these actions on a Y2K bug and getting off scot-free from all of this.
Nice. So let's move over to Darren for our next one. Your total was?
Bad 5.
Bad 5. So bad 5, rough. You are getting whipped like a rented mule for starters, and you will remember this episode for all your diminished days. The lesson you learn will be profound, lingering, and painful. Good dice are good things that happen to you or because of you. Bad dice are bad things that happen to or because of you. So which one do you want to start with?
Well, let's start with the bad thing. I end up in the hospital for several weeks, recovering from the horrible injuries that I sustained while getting the shit beat out of me.
I like that. So, Mona, you had...
7 bad.
Bad 7. Pathetic. You'll suffer. Oh dear God, will you suffer. And everyone will know of your malfeasance, your stupidity, your lack of common sense and decency. You're probably going to be locked up, too. So you've only got one good die and 2 bad die.
Alright, so I make it to the future, and it is a different place than when I left it. It has been reshaped by the events that happened on December 31st, 1999. Yeah, it's just a world I don't recognize, and I feel like I would have been seen by my family as underhanded and cutthroat and unsuccessful, and all that trouble and all that money I spent on that time traveling machine was for nothing.
Okay, so that could be one of your bad die. Like you get home and your family just disowns you immediately. Okay,
bankrupted.
Cool. So that's one of your bad die. So we'll take that and put it off to the side. And since I was the Crimson Curse all along, I'm going to skip this particular round because now we have what is it? You've got 3 dice left.
I have 2 left.
You've got 2. You've got 3. Okay, so from this point on, every round I'll do a thing. Let's get back to Bloodbot.
Alright. So I ended up not too shabby. I got out of this. So after getting away with, I guess, basically murder and theft of a car and all this stuff, I decided to go legit for a little bit. And I make a little bit of money selling jazzercise videos. I call it the Y2K breakdown. So I use this to start a book tour and experience some moderate success.
Nice. Darren.
Clarice constantly comes to visit me while I'm in the hospital, and our relationship blossoms, and we eventually get married because of what happened.
Nice.
I don't know, being disowned is already so bad.
It can get worse. It can always get worse. And there's one good thing that happens in here, too, so you can always go for that.
I get arrested for trying to mess with the timeline for my own nefarious purposes.
So you are in prison at the end.
I am in prison.
Okay, cool.
It's not prison, it's jail. It was not.
Time jail.
Yeah, time jail.
Dun, dun, dun.
So as the curse, every die I have, rather than being this is a statement about what happens to Max, this is a statement about how the curse just messes with the rest of these characters for the rest of their lives.
Uh-huh.
I think this die is after Jazzbot's success on the jazzercise VHS market and book tour.
Uh-huh.
I think it just kind of subtly comes out, all those videos of CrimeBot doing crime with petty criminals and for criminals. I think they get released just bit by bit into the media, and CrimeBot's true nature is exposed to the city.
Yeah, so my jazzercise empire crumbles. But I made a little bit of money. I had to spend most of it on lawyers getting out, but in the end, I'm okay. I still have at least one ace up my sleeve. I'm feeling pretty good about this whole thing. So let's say I put these cards to my advantage, and I go back to my ways as CrimeBot, and I start a criminal empire.
Yes.
I become a small-time crime lord in Apex City.
Oh, I like it. CrimeBot's definitely gonna make a comeback.
Yes.
Cool.
Due to the trauma of the entire situation, I find myself completely unable to write ever again. So chapter 44 will forever remain the final chapter of Tony Peck's Dakota. And there will be no more of it.
Oh, that's sad. That's real sad. Mona, the last thing that happens to you.
It's a good thing that happens.
It's a good thing.
Yeah, it's a good thing.
Just remember that your ending is pretty much suffering. So you're in jail. You're in time jail. But what's the bright spot about being in time jail?
What's your thought?
My thought is, being in time jail gives you the chance to get in touch with your own inner author.
Ooh!
And you come up with your own series of fanfiction based on the theft of Tony Peck's Dakota.
Actually, I super love that idea. Yeah, I'm in jail, and I start my own literary business, and I actually become quite successful.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you're writing from jail.
You never get out of time jail.
Yeah, you're in
you
time
experience
jail.
some success.
But you become an author in time jail.
Yeah.
I like that. So I think the next thing that the curse is going to mess with, I think we get the scene where Darren is sitting at his computer, like just desperately trying to write, and nothing is coming out. And I think he wakes up one morning and there is just an entire finished manuscript. It's not Tony Peck's Dakota, but it's a urban legend about the Crimson Curse with his name on it in the byline. And I think it has already been picked up and published in that morning's paper.
Clarice, why would you do this to me?
So you're done with yours. We have one more from Darren.
One more. An actual good thing?
Mm-hmm. Just remembering, wounds that will never heal. Kiss whatever you care about goodbye. You may die, you may not.
Yeah, so eventually me and Clarice do have a kid who she insists on naming Mona.
After that nice young woman I met that one time. Remember when we met?
I'm just gonna twist this myself into something bad, which eventually drives us to divorce.
Oh,
because I can't deal.
Which scars your child.
Yeah.
Oh, and Mona grows up resenting you.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
The inevitability of the future.
That's good. So the last thing that has to happen here is this red die, and any red die can in fact kill someone. So I think the way that we end up there is actually with young teenage Mona. Not future time jail Mona, but this timeline's. Just learning to drive with Darren in the car. This is like you haven't seen your estranged daughter for a couple of years, but now you're teaching her how to drive and you're just reconnecting. And as you're pulling out through a red light, a person steps in front of the car and turns to look at you, and Darren recognizes the first time in probably 15 years that this is Max, still covered in blood and looking just emaciated. And as the car hits him, you spin out into traffic. And I think that's where we cut.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Right?
Who knows?
Who knows who actually got it there? But I think somebody dies. Could be Max. Could be Darren. Could be Mona. Could be all of them. Who knows?
Good.
But as the credits roll on this VHS tape, we get back to our 4 core kids sitting around a campfire, having just told this spooky, spooky story about the Crimson Curse in 1999. And we can see on the power line, just behind them, there's a big owl, and it turns towards the camera, and its eyes are red, and it just like hoots and flies off into the night as our ending theme plays. So that has been Crimson Curse 1999. Thank you all, and happy Halloween!
Fiasco is written by Jason Morningstar for Bully Pulpit Games. It is made of small-time criminals and big-time consequences. Give it a shot next time you feel like getting your characters in way over their heads. The Crimson Curse 1999 playset was written by Jeremy Borders. You can find it for free at tinyurl.com/crimsoncurse1999. Jazz/crime/bloodbot was played by Christina. Darren99 was played by Joran. Mona was played by Nan. Find her on Instagram at Nanjitsu. Max Constance was played by Jeremy, who also edits and writes the music for Apex City. Find us on Twitter at Apex City Cast. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.